Hello and thank you for joining us right here on Luntha Television. It's time for news and with me, Jacqueline Saidi. First, the headlines.
Pope Francis has invited children to spread the gospel through purity. Governance experts express concern with continued disregard of austerity measures by government. Stakeholders call for inclusivity in mitigating climate change challenges that Malawi continues to face. And in other news, South Africa recalls diplomats back from Israel.
We have these and more. Stay with us. Pope Francis has emphasized the importance of learning from children's innate joy and the unity they represent. He said this when he met with at least 7,500 children from 84 countries in the Vatican for a meeting themed Let's Learn from Boys and Girls. Addressing the young audience, the Pope expressed his gratitude to the children, those who accompanied them, and the organizers of the event, including Cardinal Jose Tolentino and the Dicastery for Culture and Education, who made the event possible. We have a Vatican News report.
Pope Francis began his address by acknowledging the theme as being a particular one. During the event, the Holy Father also responded to some of the questions by emphasizing the importance of learning from children as they continually offer variable lessons to the world as the themes degraded. The Pope described how children embody the beauty of life and its simplicity and the joy of being together, two gifts from God that should be cherished. Pope Francis then urged the children to proclaim together that life is a gift and that God loves us as we all are brothers and sisters. The Holy Father went on to note that this gathering of children from all corners of the world was just like a reunion of siblings in a big house that Jesus has provided, symbolizing the universal church's embrace to all. He highlighted the importance of creating an environment where children, no matter where they come from, always feel welcomed, loved, and accepted. Expressing his desire to personally greet each child, Pope Francis acknowledged that due to the large number present, this would not be possible, but he did ensure that his words and blessings were extended to every child, and through them to children worldwide.
The Pope's envoy to Malawi, His Excellency Archbishop Gianluca Pionici, says the Vatican is contemplating on establishing a nunciature seat in Malawi in the near future. The nuncio made the remarks during a lunch on Tuesday at the Catholic Secretariat Episcopal Conference of Malawi in Longwe. He is in Malawi for his maiden visit since he was appointed the Holy Father's Apostolic Nuncio to Malawi and Zambia. We'll have more in this report.
The Pope's Apostolic Nuncio to Malawi and Zambia, His Excellency Archbishop Gianluca Perich, said he is aware that Malawi has no proper seat for the nunciature. However, the Vatican is giving it a serious thought. The nunciature seat is a house designed specifically for the nuncio and a delegation from the Holy See. Malawi is among the African countries without the nunciature seat. Archbishop Gianluca Perich said plans are in pipeline to have it established.
Però penso che non manchi molto perché si possa avere il permesso di costruire una vera e propria nunziatura.
Okay, he knows very well that Malawi does not have a proper seat for the nunciature, but he is hopeful and he is sure that in the few years to come, we shall have a fully established nunciature in Malawi.
Mi auguro di essere il primo nunzio che abita in Malawi, che abiterà in Malawi.
He wishes, and we should wish him well, so that he has to be the first nuncio to live in Malawi.
In his remarks, ECM chairperson Archbishop George Tambala described the nuncio's visit as a milestone to new developments in the church.
Very happy. This is a gift we have received. As you know, the presence of the nuncio is a very powerful sign of unity between us as a church in Malawi and our Holy Father, the Pope. But also in front of the state, he is the representative of the Holy Father here. So it is a great moment. You know that we had another nuncio who was saved in Malawi, but now he's in Uruguay, South America, appointed there. So we have a new nuncio, and that's a great joy for us.
Earlier on Tuesday, Archbishop Jean presented his letters of credence to President Lazarus Chakwera. Pope Francis appointed Archbishop Gianluca Perich as the Apostolic Nunciature to Malawi in June this year. Archbishop Perich replaced Archbishop Gianfranco Gallon, who was transferred to the Apostolic Nunciature in Uruguay. For Luntha News in Lilongwe, I'm Hilbert Katanda.
President Lazarus Chakwera is set to leave the country on Wednesday for Saudi Arabia and Egypt for official engagements. According to Chief Government Spokesperson Moses Konkuyo, Chakwera is expected to witness the signing of a 22 billion kwacha financing agreement with Saudi Arabia for the construction of Mamboshi Maganjira Road first phase. Konkuyo has also disclosed that over 70 delegates will go with the president to Egypt for an AFREXIM intra-Africa business affair with support from private companies and development partners. Now, the Lilongwe District Council has laid out a number of conditions to ensure safety and security during a joint vigil which unemployed nurses, midwives and teachers plan to hold at Capitol Hill in Lilongwe from Thursday, November 9th, 2023 to force the government to employ them. The condition includes an order for the organizers not to have any weapon and cause any disturbance to the general public during the entire period of the vigil. Publicity Secretary for the Joint Unemployment Nurses and Midwives and Primary School Teachers Grouping, Lucius Gerard, says that they will hold vigils until government permanently employs them. Charity Chalanga reports.
Lilongwe District Commissioner Dr. Lawford Palani says his office has created a grouping to hold vigils in Lilongwe. He said his office has advised the grouping to ensure that the vigil is peaceful.
What I've given is the chance for them to start from Capitol Hill Gate, and they'll be doing the vigils at the Kamuzu Mausoleum car park. So I've given them conditions. The first condition is they should make sure that there's a mobile toilet in case of outbreak of other diseases, and they should also be portable water. Make sure there's clean and sanitation. And they also have taught them to have 40 marshals around them.
Publicity Secretary for the Joint Unemployment Nurses and Midwives and Primary School Teachers Grouping, Lucius Gerard, said that the grouping has been compelled to hold the vigil with 5,000 nurses and midwives jobless, while 10,000 primary school teachers under EPT 13 to 17 remain unemployed.
We're going to hold these vigils up until our demands are met. So we are requesting the government to employ us, unemployed nurses and unemployed primary school teachers permanently. So we have been used as auxiliary teachers and upkeep nurses for a long time. So we want government to employ us.
Unemployment is a thorn in the back in the country, with recent statistics indicating that 9% of Malawi's population is in the labor workforce, and this small percentage of the population is under pressure to provide for the remaining 91%. Charity Chilanga, Luntha Television, Lilongwe.
Remember, it's news time right on Luntha Television. We'll be back after the break.
Kukazikitsa Central Equipment Identity Register, CEIR. Inde, makina a CEIR apereka chitetezo kwa eni ma-handset ndi mafoni am'manja popereka mphamvu za mtsatira kapena zoletsa kugwiritsa ntchito foni yawo pamene yasowa kapena yabedwa. Mphamvu yowoneratu ngati foni ili ya original kapena ya fake asanagule. Komanso mphamvu yonenera mafoni okhudzidwa ndi zaukathyali kuti asathe kugwiritsidwa pa network iliyonse muno m'Malawi.
Wow! Chingira!
Chitetezo cha foni ya m'manja patsogolo. Mukafuna kudziwa zambiri, lumikizanani ndi bungwe la Makra pa email dg@makra.mw kapena imbani 261 mwaulere pa network iliyonse muno m'Malawi. Uthengawu likukupatsirani ndi boma la Malawi kudzera mbungwe la Malawi Communications Regulatory Authority, Makra.
Introducing the Central Equipment Identity Registry, CEIR.
Yes, the CEIR will empower mobile subscribers and strengthen their security by allowing them to block or trace stolen mobile phones, check the genuineness of a mobile device while buying, and blacklist mobile devices involved in illicit activities across all mobile network operators in Malawi.
Wow! Chingira! Put your mobile device security first.
For more information, contact Makra via email dg@makra.mw or call 261 toll-free from any Malawian telephone network. This message is brought to you by the Malawi government via the Malawi Communications Regulatory Authority, Makra.
Welcome back. If you've just joined us, know that it's news time right here on Luntha Television, coming to you live from Bishop Murphy Media Center. Moving forward, Minister of Natural Resources and Climate Change, Dr. Michael Usi, has called for inclusiveness if the country is to win the fight against climate change. Dr. Usi says those in the villages need to be informed and take part in all issues pertaining to climate change if we are to make progress. He has made the remarks in Lilongwe at the start of a two-day pre-conference of parties, COP28, the trialogue aimed at promoting green innovations, energy transition, circular economy, and sustainable climate change financing. Tangam Zunara has more in this report.
Officially opening the pre-COP28 trialogue, which has drawn policymakers, the private sector and non-state actors, Dr. Usi emphasized the urgent need for concerted action to address the challenges posed by climate change and environmental degradation. He went on to note the need to work together to ensure that financing is equitable and accessible for all, including the most vulnerable communities.
All the information, most of it, is encapsulated in our minds. It has to be also shared to the people in the villages so that they can be informed when they are making their decisions.
Keynote speaker Zakaria Magombo, who is the acting Director General of the National Herbarium and Botanic Gardens of Malawi, emphasized that Malawi needs good guidelines and framework if the agreements the country signs on climate change issues are to achieve desired results.
We are going to lose the opportunity for resource mobilization through these agreements. So it starts with the contract agreement. It has to be meaningful and beneficial to Malawians.
In her remarks, United Nations Development Programme Resident Representative in Malawi, Fenella Frost, has stressed that financial support for climate change research is paramount as a way towards resilience building.
All come together, that's communities, young people, obviously the government. The government needs to express its priorities and sense of direction. Development partners, including the UN and my own organisation, UNDP.
Meanwhile, speaking on behalf of the youths, Brenda Mwale has emphasised the need for more inclusion of youth in issues of climate change, saying the impact of climate change is affecting people of all ages in society. Mwale has since recommended continual engagement of youth in climate change programs, youth empowerment, and mobilization of funds for the youth to be able to attend international conferences such as COP28. This year's United Nations Conference of Parties, COP28, will be held from the 30th of November to the 12th of December 2023 in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. For Luntha News, this is Tandiwem Zumara.
Members of the Luntha District Council have expressed dissatisfaction over this year's Affordable Inputs Program, where government's criteria of selecting beneficiaries over productive farmers are said to be unfair, as a lot of qualified beneficiaries have been dropped from the system. The program is set to benefit 36,172 households, with 33,444 programmed to benefit from seed and fertilizer, while 2,750 households set to benefit from livestock. Meanwhile, the District Commissioner has directed the Office of Agriculture to find out the reason why the selection has affected qualified beneficiaries and selected people that do not qualify in the program, as reported by members of the Council. Rashida Matandika with the report.
In the council meeting, Balaka West constituency Member of Parliament Betha Ndewere said much as the criteria that is being used this season is understandable, what is on the papers is different from what is on the ground, as those that have been selected do not have the required qualifications. Ndewere has also attributed the problem to the Unified Beneficiary Registry, UBR, used by government in beneficiary selection.
You know, the issue of UBR, we have been talking about it, but the answer that we get is that the donors, that's the method that they want to use. But you can agree with me, when we were using the chiefs, people were being distributed fairly, because some people would be given one coupon and then being asked to share with another. But with the UBR, no one is ready to be sharing with the neighbor.
Speaking to the media after the council meeting, the Chief Agriculture, Environment and Natural Resources Officer David Ali has assured the council and the whole district that they should not worry about the criteria, but also advised people to be honest when giving out information to government officials during surveys and registrations.
We need also to let our farmers know how to say the truth about their status. Maybe some were cheating that their hectarage is less than 0.4 of a hectare. Well, maybe that one has also made that more people should not benefit from this criteria, which government has used this year.
Meanwhile, the District Commissioner Tamanya Harawa said that there are a lot of social programs that will complement the AIP, including social cash transfer, which people will benefit. He has, however, advised the Kaenro to find out if there are any malpractice done by the extension workers that has led to the poor selection of beneficiaries.
When we are discharging our duties, we should try to be as honest as we can and to be as diligent as we can, so that we really present the right information as is actually required. If we had done our due diligence, I'm sure would have dealt with the issue of some other people actually who are not eligible actually benefiting from the program. So my whole message is we should do our job as actually is required. Let's adhere to the guidelines as provided for, and also let's do the proper validation and the proper due diligence when you're actually executing our job.
Currently, redemption of the commodities is in progress in the rural areas of the district, but there are issues of ID cards being found empty of the commodities, which the agriculture authorities says such issues will be sorted out amicably. Rashida Matandika, Luntha TV, Balaka.
The Ministry of Tourism has released the official results of the National Hotel grading exercise for the third quarter of the 2023-2024 period. According to the Ministry, this exercise is aimed at enhancing hospitality of the industry. Speaking with Luntha Television, Ministry of Tourism Public Relations Officer Joseph Francosa says that the exercise is very important for both hotel owners and consumers. He explains.
The grading process is it's a continuous thing that we, as the ministry, usually undertake, and it is quite important because it helps us as a tourism destination to know exactly where are we in terms of service delivery. For example, if as a destination we don't have a 5-star, we don't have a 4-star, we don't have a 3-star, then we can clearly say see and we can clearly say that we don't have the services of that nature. An open criteria where we share with the operators and even the consumers can also have it there on our website page, and even if you come to the ministry, we can easily share you the criteria. It's more like a book. So we look into the facility itself, starting from the structure, looking at the grounds, looking at the services. We go into the kitchen, we go into the bedrooms, the public areas, the gym. So there are a number of areas, or I can say it's all the areas of the facility that we look into. But this one is very open to both us as the ministry and to the operator.
In international news, South Africa says it is recalling all of its diplomats from Tel Aviv following Israel's intense airstrikes on Gaza on Sunday night. The bombardment was one of Israel's heaviest since the war began a month ago. According to Gaza City's Al-Shifa hospital, about 200 people were killed during the incident. We have the details.
South Africa government, which has long been a vocal supporter of the Palestinian cause, staunchly condemned Israel on Monday. Foreign Minister Naled Pandor told a press conference that South Africa was withdrawing its diplomats, saying they are extremely concerned at the continued killing of children and innocent civilians in their Palestinian territories, and they believe the nature of response by Israel has become one of collective punishment. Israel has insisted it is trying to minimize civilian casualties and accuses Hamas, which controls the Gaza Strip, of using non-combatants as human shields. On October 7, fighters from Hamas, which the UK, US, other Western power class as a terrorist organization, killed more than 1,400 people in Israel. They also took more than 230 hostages, including one South African nation who has not yet been identified. Israel has responded by vowing to destroy Hamas and carrying out numerous air strikes on Gaza. More than 10,000 people have been killed there since the surge began, the Hamas Land Health Ministry says. Leo Harat, a spokesman for the Israel Minister of Foreign Affairs, posted a response on Twitter saying South Africa's decision to recall its diplomatic staff was a victory for the Hamas terrorist organization and rewards it the massacre of 7 October. South Africa is not the first country to recall its diplomats from Israel in protest against the military operation in Gaza. Chad, Chile, and Colombia are among those to have already done so.
Those Faris Chizombe reading a BBC report. That also marks the end of our bulletin, but before we go, let's have another look at the headlines.
Pope Francis has invited children to spread the gospel through purity. Governance experts express concern with continued disregard of austerity measures by government. Stakeholders call for inclusivity in mitigating climate change challenges that Malawi continues to face. And in other news, South Africa recalls diplomats back from Israel.
My name is Jacqueline Saidi. Thank you very much for watching Child Television and stay safe.